Have you ever heard of a man who commanded the sun, and the sun obeyed? A man who spoke to the moon, and the moon stood still. This is not a myth. This is not a legend. This is not folklore. This is not poetry. This is not symbolism. This is history. This is scripture. This is reality. This is the story of a man who did not fight alone because heaven fought with him. This is the story of Joshua, and this is the day God stopped time. When kings heard of Joshua, fear entered their nations. When rulers heard of Israel, panic entered their palaces. When Adoni-Zedek, king of Jerusalem, heard what Joshua had done to Jericho and Ai, terror took hold of his city, not because Israel was large, but because God was with them. Adoni-Zedek, king of Jerusalem, heard that Joshua had captured Ai. He heard that Jericho had fallen. He heard that kings were defeated. He heard that cities were destroyed. Fear entered Jerusalem, not fear of Israel, fear of their God. When he heard that the Gibeonites had made peace with Israel, panic spread through the land. So he sent for 4 kings. 5 kings rose together. 5 armies united. 5 kingdoms formed one force. They surrounded Gibeon. They prepared for war. They began their attack. And Gibeon cried out to Joshua, "Do not abandon us. Come quickly. Save us. We need your help." Joshua did not hesitate. He gathered his warriors, his trained men, his best fighters, and they marched all night from Gilgal. No delay, no fear, no retreat. And God spoke to Joshua, "Do not be afraid of them. Not one of them will stand against you. I have given them into your hands." When Israel arrived, God released panic on the enemy, not confusion, panic, not disorder, terror. He struck them at Gibeon. He chased them to Beth Horon. He cut them down to Azekah. He pursued them to Makkedah. And then heaven entered the battle. Not angels, not fire, not thunder, but stones. Hailstones fell from the sky. More died from heaven than from swords. And then the moment history had never seen. Joshua spoke, not to men, but to creation. Sun, stand still over Gibeon. Moon, stand still over the valley of Aijalon. And the universe obeyed. The sun stopped. The moon paused. Time froze. Not for minutes, not for moments, but for a full day. There has never been a day like it before. There has never been a day like it since. Because it was not Joshua's voice that creation obeyed. It was God's authority. Heaven was fighting for Israel. This was not a miracle. This was dominion. This was not divine help. This was divine rule. This was not God assisting a man. This was God revealing himself. Joshua returned to Gilgal victorious. The kings were captured. The enemies were defeated. The war was ended. But the revelation remained that the God of Israel is not limited by time, not restricted by nature, not bound by creation, not confined by the universe. He commands the sun. He rules the moon. He governs time. He owns creation. This is not just the story of Joshua. This is the revelation of God. If this story inspired you, subscribe for more untold Bible stories hidden between the lines.